All right. Hey, listen, let's do this. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yo, let's go. Yeah. Listen, man, we in the building. We here. We made it to another episode. Man, thank God we make it to another episode. Thank God. We made it to another episode of what? The Greg Byrd Podcast. Listen, if you not going to leave it on the table, you can't come to the Greg Byrd Podcast. Let me say this again, because I got to go there again. If you're not willing to put it all on the table, then you can't come to the Greg Byrd Podcast. That means if you're not willing to fully open up, if you're not willing to fully put it on the table, if you are looking at yourself and saying, I'm not going to put all the tea on the table, I'm not going to open up in any way, the Greg Byrd Podcast is not for you. Go waste somebody else's time. Listen, we here. And not only is we here for the victory. We here to make this thing happen. So I first want to start off the day by just saying that, you know what? What a week. It has been a week for me. The week that I have had this week has been very, very positive, but not only positive, but very, very detrimental. So when I say detrimental, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, the devil definitely been testing me all week. He been testing me. But I also want to be able to say that even though the devil has been testing me, that just lets me know that I'm doing something right. It's letting me know that I'm doing something right. I'm telling you on here right now, if you listen to the Greg Byrd Podcast, if you are getting tested and you getting battle tested in every way, that lets you know that you are doing something right. Stop always looking at the situation like, yo, ain't nothing happening good for me. Yo, everything that's going on is seeming not to work. Yo, no answers is nothing that's going on in my life is working. Nothing is happening. Why is everything bad happening to me? That just lets you know that guess what? Your victory is here. Your victory is on the way. Your win is on the way. Or like we say, your dub is on the way. How bad do you believe in your dub? How bad do you believe in your victory? Yo, stop playing with yourself. Stop playing with yourself. Maybe take the time to stop doubting yourself so much and just believe in yourself. Man, what a week, man. So the week that I'm having, I'm just happy to be here another episode to sit here and be able to talk about my testimony for the week. So me getting into this, I want to first start off by saying, I'm going to make it loud and clear for somebody today. God has already gave you the vision. God has already gave you the vision. But it's only one problem. He's made it plain with the vision. He's already told you. He's already explained to you. He's already spent numerous of times when you were sitting by yourself or you were sitting in your car and you were just thinking and you were just meditating and you were just praying and whatever you was doing, he's been telling you, this is what I have for you. But as I tell you, this is what I have for you. Do you believe in your own vision? Do you believe what God has for you? Do you believe that he said that he's going to come through with what he said he was going to come through with? So my whole thing is this with everybody. So once he told you about the vision and he explained to you about the vision, and then you kind of he already told you that the haters is going to hate. The unbelievers is going to unbelieve. The trash talkers is going to trash talk. The ones that hate you, gonna hate you even more. Yo, them people in your family that you think love you and care about you, they don't like what you're doing. Because you stepping into your destiny. Only person that don't see that they stepping into their destiny is you, because you over here waiting for somebody to pat you on the back and tell you that you're doing a great job. God is over here sitting here telling you, yo, nah, it ain't going to be you're not going to have too many pats on the back. Nah, there's not going to be too many people telling you that you're doing a good job. Put in the work. So my message, my title for this podcast today is this. If you turn your back on me, I will turn my back on you. Let me repeat that. If you turn your back on me, I will turn my back on you. So when I say that if you turn your back, that means God already made it plain to you that guess what? I've already gave you your vision. I already told you that you will win at the end of the vision. But so after I told you that you would already won, you over here self-doubting me. You over here telling me because you start listening to what everybody else was saying. You start hearing what everybody else was saying. And then you started listening to all the feedback that everybody out there that wasn't doing nothing is telling you what you need to do better and how you need to fix this and what you should be doing differently from what you're doing now. God said, yo, nah, that's not what I told you. I told you to finish out with the plan and continue to stay on task. And you didn't listen. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt me. So that's what we're going to rap about today. If you turn your back on me, I will turn my back on you because the vision is clear. I want to first start off by saying that, listen, I got my bro here with me today on the Greg Byrd Podcast. He here and like, yo, we like for real, we just come as men to sit here and leave it all on the table. We come here today to rap. We come here today to just to open up. We come here today to just, as men, just be able to express our feelings to one another. I'm sitting here today with my man, Phil Mills. So him being here today, I'm going to let him just do him in like a couple seconds. But I want to first start off that, you know what? Me and Phil have had a couple conversations. We talk here and there on social media. And I brung him here today, me and my man Elman Arch. Because we say, yo, Phil, I seen something. I seen a couple things on social media this week. And I wanted him to be able to come to the podcast and be able to tell his side. Tell how he feel. Just let for real, open up a little bit about him that maybe we didn't know, or maybe you might be going through the same thing that he got going on. My man Phil Mills, what's up, bro?
Thank you, bro.
Come on, man. Go ahead, bro. I talk too much, man. Go ahead.
Nah, man, you spoke it well.
Right, thank you.
And I appreciate the invite. I love the setup, man. It's impressive. Whichever way you want to go with it, let's let it all loose and lay it out on the table.
Right.
Lay it on the floor.
Okay. So social media this week.
Right.
We always floating on social media when we get a chance. We at work or wherever we doing. I seen you put a post up.
Right.
I seen you put a story up on Instagram, and it was a picture of your son when he was younger. Mm-hmm. And I read what you put in the post, in the story, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't know word for word, but the story touched my heart.
Right.
Because when I read the story, it just opened up because something that I was going through, reading your story made me just open up and just say, damn, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love how he like literally wrote that. I felt the emotions that you felt when you wrote that.
Oh, yeah.
So it was basically saying like, you are my firstborn son.
Right.
And I love you so much that I would hug you and just hold you in my arms.
Oh, yeah.
And like, no matter what I was going through, I would just cry.
Yeah.
I would just open up. So, bro, elaborate on that.
Okay. So a quick story. The night he was born at Einstein Hospital in Philly. And you remember Mike Hinton?
Yes.
He wanted to pick me up so we could celebrate. And my mom was a little skeptical about him. And we waited for him for a little bit, and my mom, when he pulled up, finally, my mom said, "You drive," because he don't got a license.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, "Yo, move over." My mom tripping. We get on the expressway. I see a cop coming off the ramp with his lights on, and I'm like, I wonder who he going to go get. I said this out loud, and then the cop got next to me and swerved at me. So I'm thinking he's trying to get the car in front of me.
Okay.
So I stopped. No, he swerved in front of me, and they jumped out with their guns drawn, and they pulled us out the car. Come to find out, I've seen Mike with this car for 3 months. Come to find out, the car was stolen. He told me it was his older girlfriends that I met and seen drive the car. Turned out it wasn't her car at all. My job gets wind of it, and they let me. Maybe they suspended me.
Okay.
But it was the day after my firstborn child.
Okay.
And I actually fought that case. It was like a receiving stolen property case. I fought it for like 9 months until it finally got dismissed. But sometimes on interviews it would come up. We got this case pending. And I was being turned down on certain jobs. So I always just wanted my son around me. And his mom, she was able to, go have her fun, drop him off, because every weekend when he came over, I would just hold him and cry because I was going through that much. And it's crazy because he used to just stare at me. And, he didn't know what was going on, but he did, and like I said, I fought it for 9 months, but for that 9 months, it was just a tough time. The income slowed up, and he would just look at me very intently, and I would just cry. And he never understood, but it just made our bond even stronger. You know what I mean? And when I tell him those stories now, just to see his reaction, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Because he's such a caring kid. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a real tough time. You know what I mean? But I had to let that out the other day.
Right,
you know
right. Is there was there anything behind that post that made you post that? Because like when you posted that, it made me kind of feel like maybe you might have been going through something now, or something you might have seen your son and just been happy, and you just was like, yo, let me put this post up here because like, I want to acknowledge him, or yo, you got me through what I went through.
That's a real good question. Last Saturday, was it Saturday? Yeah, he had a track meet at North Penn High School, and he ran the 400, and he got halfway through the 400. He was doing good, and I saw him burn out. And after the meet, when it was time to leave, when I was walking up to him, I noticed that he couldn't look at me. He just shifted his eyes to the side. And I'm like, man, I just wanted to show him some encouragement. Like, yo, you did good. You know what I mean? Don't worry. The 400 might not be your thing.
Right.
So every day up until that post, I was constantly calling him, FaceTiming him, just letting him know. Just giving him that, that motivation. Bro, look, I'm proud of you.
Right.
I don't care what place you came in.
Right.
The fact that you're competing, I'm proud. You know what I mean?
Right.
That goes back to a conversation me and you was just having about a goal that you had, and I saw you just attack it, and you didn't let nothing stop you. And I just try to give them that type of information. Yo, look, man, just keep going. Face told me that he saw a video of Usain Bolt saying that, running the 400 made him better at any other race.
Okay.
So I try to give him that information. I just been feeding him. So that post was really to because he see all my posts. It was really to just give him some more words. You know what I mean?
All right. So I don't know, man. Like I look at it when it comes time to our kids, and I know you can attest to this. Like I feel like I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they was like, "Yo, we way better fathers than some of us."
Right.
Because I know some of us had our dads and stuff like that, but like we way better fathers than the fathers that we had, than our fathers, a lot of us. Because a lot of us grew up in single-parent households where dad wasn't there, or he might have been there for a little bit, and then he was in and out.
Right.
And I can attest to that. Like, a lot of dudes that I know that got kids, a lot that I know is really out here taking care of their kids.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what goes on, they like, yo, like, my kids is my kids. And like how we go and we like motivate them, like he was like, yo, I had to motivate him. Like I just wanted to give him some words of encouragement because like at the end of the day, that goes back into the bag of like, I'll never turn my back on you.
Yeah.
Like I be looking at situations with my pop and I'll be like, that should be hurting me, man. Cause I'll be like, there was a lot of times that I wish you was there. Yeah. That you just didn't care. So like, even no matter, I don't care how mad my daughters make me, they can get on my nerves, whatever. But like, no matter what, I'm never gonna leave you. Mm-hmm. I'm never gonna give up on you. And I be thinking about that a lot as a man, like, damn, dad, like you was that. Like, I know my dad was dealing with like a lot of like addiction with drugs and stuff like that. But like, I felt like there was a lot of times when I was like, damn, dad, like you could have like, I don't even remember you taking us to like the basketball court or like just doing stuff with us, taking us to the movies. Like you never did none of that. So when it come time to showing up to track meets, showing up to our kids' stuff and supporting them, like to me, sometimes I get like emotional about that because I'll be like my daughter, she'd be like, my mom and dad, like they here at the games, whatever, but let us not be there.
Right. But
I be saying to myself, I'm like, Cruz, me and your mom at every game. I didn't have that. Mm. Like my mom worked till 6 o'clock. So like I understood her. Yeah. But like, I don't know. I just always strive on being the best dad that I can be, even though I might not be the best dad to somebody else the way they might look at me. Right. But like, I'm trying. Yeah. I'm trying because I grew up in a household where I didn't see a man raise his kids. Right. Right. You know, so I commend you on that of just, you know, with your son or whatever. Any, you know what I mean? You got any, like anything?
Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, like in my household, my father was always there. Mm-hmm. He was there, but you know, my mom would say now he wasn't. Okay. And I kind of just try to look at it like, in some aspect, we all might fall short in some category as a parent.
There you go. Talk about it.
And I just try to take away the good parts. I used to say my dad was just a disciplinarian, but and I always say he wasn't a teacher. But as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize he was teaching the whole time. Mm-hmm. I just told him the other day, you told me, yo, you keep it up, and one of your friends is going to put you somewhere where I can't save you. Mm. The first time I ever got a major case, it was because of something that a friend did, and my dad couldn't save me. Mm. My dad used to always tell me where I was going to go. I told him the other day, I always thought you was a genius because I would come up with a lie for hours, and I would say it verbatim how I thought of it, and I thought I was going to get over. And he used to say, no, you lying. This is what happened. This is what happened. I've done everything you did, so I know. Right. But as a kid, you don't hear that. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, I'll outsmart this guy. But no, he really was a teacher the whole time. Even just an example. But you know, at the same time, he had his shortcomings as well. You know what I mean?
And I look at it like not trying to like. There you go. That's the thing. Like we all have our shortcomings. Right. You know, I'm go ahead. I'm sorry, but like, I like that you said that. Like, yo, like we all got our shortcomings. Right. We might be great in certain areas, but we all have a lot of areas that we need to improve in too. Absolutely. So like, don't knock me for those areas, but I'm really trying. Yeah. Plus that also goes to me. This is me personally. Like everybody's childhood is different. Yeah. Everybody's household is different. Yo, I grew up with a mom, 4 kids. My dad, in and out, in and out, in and out. Yeah. Like, all I know is mom being mom and dad. Mm-hmm. You know? And I used to be like, damn, like, you know the song, My Daddy. Yeah. Where have you been? Yeah. When you come home, you left us here all alone. Yeah. Like, I be looking at him like, damn, Dad. Yeah. Like, I could be away from my daughters. They could be at school, and I'm like, damn, y'all just really love my daughters, man. Yeah. I love them, man. I see them getting big and, you know, whatever, but it's like, I strive. I I put it like this, Phil. I put it like this. No matter how I am as a dad, I will never walk out that door and just completely leave you alone.
Right.
My dad did that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you don't got a little bit inside of you of, damn, I miss my kids. Mm-hmm. Let me go see my kids. Yo, I know I've been living with this other woman, but like, let me at least slide up and just go see them, even though I know they're going to be mad at me. Like, you know what? I'm going to open up about this, but then you just killed me with this one. But like, back when I was younger, I didn't care if my dad, because my mom was everything. Mm-hmm. But the older I get now, I wish me and my dad can go to the Eagles games. Right. I wish me and my dad could sit on the phone. Yo, Dad, you coming up to watch the games with me? Mm-hmm. Yo, Dad, you want to go get something to eat? Like, I yearn for that relationship now with my pop. Yeah. And you know what the crazy part about it is? I know I'm never going to get it.
Wow.
I know I'm never going to get it.
That's deep.
And, like, knowing that, it hurts. And then, like, when you go to see your pop, like, homeless, feces all over him.
Oh, wow.
Down on Church Street, and everybody calling you to come down there and get him. That's hard, man. And I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Really, when you knew all the times that he said, F you, F your mom, F you, like, F y'all, and was never there, and I was still going down there bringing him food. I was still going down there just popping up to see him and stuff like that. And it got to the point the last time where I was like, I can't do this no more. It's breaking me. Yeah. But then that opened up a lot of skeletons deep down inside of me that I knew, like, yo, I never was healed from a kid of the abandonments of my dad. Mm. And I, like, it's crazy because we didn't even know we was just going to jump on this.
No.
But, like, it's crazy. So, like, I always say to myself, like, yo, we all dealing with something. Yeah. We all got deep-rooted things deep inside of us where you might be with your significant other, your wife, you might be with, you know, your wife or whatever, your husband or whatever, and it's like, yo, why you move the way you move like that? Yo, I don't like how you move, but you don't know my upbringing.
Right.
You don't know my upbringing.
Yeah.
You don't know when you just seen mom do everything. Like, how can I be a dad when I never seen a dad be a dad? You know what I mean? So, like, these kids, go ahead, bro.
You're doing a good job at it, though. But let me ask you.
Go ahead, bro.
You know, we was real close at a point, and when we was younger, but you had a drive about you. Where do you think that came from, your mom or?
You know, that's a good question. I would, if my dad had drive, I wouldn't have known.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If my dad had drive, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
My mom, just seeing her, my mom just taking care of us, keeping a household afloat, right. Taking care of 4 kids, making sure we ate every night. Like, my mom had it down pat where we knew how to clean the house. Stephanie knew how to start dinner.
Right.
Like, my mom, like, it was like this.
Yeah.
And, like, I appreciate my mom for that because, like, and she always loved us.
Right.
Like, not like she wouldn't love us, but like, excuse me. She always, like, I never knew my mom to ever be a bad mom. And, like, my mom she kept it 100 with us about my pop, but she never dogged my dad.
Right.
She never dogged him. You know what I mean? So that was a part that, like, it's still like, I'm about to be 40 and them deep-rooted issues about, like, them daddy issues.
Yeah.
Them shits is real with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I'll be like, it's hard for me sometimes because I be stubborn just like him. Oh, we beefing? You done to me. I'm quick to cut somebody off.
Yeah.
My lady had to say to me the other day, yo, you can't cut everybody off. You got to stop doing that.
Right.
And I'm like, wow. But, like, it's funny because, like, with everything that went on and stuff like that and the trials and the tribulations, I want to be able to say this to you. Like, I seen another video of you talking about some loss that you had and some things that you was dealing with in a video where you were just expressing on Instagram about your sister that passed away.
Right.
Like, how, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
How? Like how you?
It's literally the hardest thing that I ever had to deal with in life. My biggest fear in life growing up was to lose a sibling or one of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I just always feared it. And with her is her being the baby out of all of us. She was the caretaker. She was, I don't want to offend any of my other siblings when I say she was the most necessary one, because she was the caretaker. She was the one who didn't tell you what you wanted to hear, but what you needed to hear.
Right.
I used to just throw stuff out there to her, just, miscellaneous things, stupid stuff, and she'd check me. And, that means a lot because you care.
Right.
I remember a little while before she passed, I had COVID, and I fell out at home, so I had to park the van behind my mom's house, and she used to make me breakfast every morning, lunch every afternoon.
Wow.
Yo, you want me to get you a hotel room? You want me, because at the time I was going through a rough patch, and she just was different, man. She was a strong personality, and that's something that really, man, I'll never get over that. Time has taught me some ways to cope with it.
Okay.
But I do wake up out of those naps with the realization that she's not here. And I honestly think I was the last one that talked to her the day that she passed.
Wow.
Yeah. And I saw her come off the ambulance on the way into the hospital, and I was just screaming, "Shelby, fight. Fight." And I seen the machine pumping her heart. That was my baby, man.
Right.
Man, she cared about me. I had a little episode a month before she passed where I woke up, I was drinking liquor like 9 a.m. She don't know this, but I was seeing a doctor, a therapist, because I felt like death was coming.
Wow.
I didn't know if it was for her, my dad, or me. But I was infatuated with death at the time. I was watching videos, funeral home companies, their funerals, and there's one guy that goes and visit celebrity grave sites. I just was trying to prepare myself for death, but I didn't know whose death it was. And I had an episode one day, and I went off. They was trying to put me in the state hospital, but I was scared for her. And I just remember sitting in front of the therapist. He said, "What's going on?" I said, "My dad or my sister, I don't know." Because my dad got ailments, many of them. He had 10 strokes, you know what I mean? And I didn't know it would be her. And yeah, man, it tore me up, man. It tore me up. I still don't know how to cope with it completely, but that was my baby, man.
Right.
Shelby. I want to just keep her name alive.
Right.
Man, I seen the pain in her eyes that day I had that episode, and I pointed at her. I was in my room, my parents, homie Phil, Marcus, and my brother was there, and she was sitting there, and I said, man, I was explaining what I was going through that day, that episode I was having, and I pointed at her, and I said, man, I got to see her looking like this, and she broke down. That was like November 15th, and she passed away December 31st. So I was like, that night she just kept texting me, trying to make sure I'm okay, but she was dealing with what she was dealing with. She was so selfless. And yeah, man, it's the toughest thing I had to deal with, bro.
Right. And asking you, like, how was it where it's like, who was the one that was like, I gotta be strong? For like, let me give you an example. Like, I hate to say any of this, but like, if anything was to happen to like my brothers and sisters, like I use my daughters. If something was to happen to like my lady or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna be devastated.
Right.
I don't know what I'm gonna be able to do, but like I always say to myself, like, I know that I'm gonna have to be strong. Like my daughters are gonna have to see me be strong for them. So like, if something was to happen to my mom, like I personally feel like in my family, like when my sisters and brothers, like I'm the rock.
Yeah.
Something go wrong, it's like, call Greg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if something happened to her, it's like my mom, anybody, I don't know how I'll be able to deal with it.
Right.
But it's like I know that I'm going to have to be the strong one. Who was the one like in your family that was like keeping everybody like together, like just bringing the family together and just keeping it? I know it was a hard time, but
yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like because in our family, we only experienced one death before her that was like traumatic. Maybe back in the day with our cousin Jasmine, she was a baby. But excuse me. My grandma passed away in 2019.
I remember that.
That was devastating.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a little more easier to deal with because, she was a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
She was older. And I used to go to her grave once a month. And my sister's buried right next to her. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to go there. But honestly, back to your question, I think we all was shell-shocked. Nobody knew which way to go because it was new for us. We didn't know death.
Right.
We didn't know death, and especially somebody that young. It had been a long time, so I really don't know, man.
Okay.
We all was just in we was all shell shocked.
Right.
Yeah.
Like sitting here, we rapping, we just busting it up, and we, for real, I love this conversation that we having. I want to ask you a question, and just because how this thing is flowing.
Right.
Where is Phil at mentally now? Physically now? Like the last, because you said like, yo, GB, like I've dealt with loss. Yeah. I've dealt with, I've done had episodes.
Yeah.
I done had times where I was like down and out. I was crying where like I was at rock bottom.
Oh yeah.
Like when you look at all that and you look at yourself where you at right now, like where do you see yourself now? Like, yo, I really overcame a lot. I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here living through my sister.
Yeah.
I'm still here, like living. I'm here for my kids. I'm here. Like, how is Phil now?
Better.
Okay.
Better. Like I said, time has somewhat taken away the sting. The initial sting of it. But yeah, I still have to be here, like you said, for the kids. Man, I had a custody thing going on at the time. And after my sister passed, I didn't see my kids, my oldest kids, for maybe 3 months. Didn't talk to anybody. I kind of locked myself in a room for that time period. And I'd had to just wake up one day and, well, they need me still. Mm-hmm. They probably concerned about me. You know what I mean? So I had to put my big boy pants on and just jump back into that role.
Right.
So where am I at now? I'm just a little bit better.
Okay.
Than that time period. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm striving.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
And striving and just finding ways. And like I said, there ain't no right or wrong answer with that.
Right.
You see the older that we get, the tougher this thing get. This thing life is tough. Boy. The older that we get.
Boy.
This thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, like there's days when I get up and I'm like, yo, I'm not feeling this.
Right.
Yo, I'm not feeling the day. I know I got a lot going on. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I'm like, yo, I'm not feeling it, man. And some days I'm very emotional where I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
I just want to go home, have the TV on, put my music on, and just zone out. Mm-hmm. And I always say, and I always think about this of, as men, we emotional creatures too.
Oh, yeah.
I hate when people say like, well, men ain't supposed to have feelings or you supposed to suck it up.
Right.
Yo, I'm learning that, the more and more that I keep stuff built up, the more and more that I don't open up about certain things, right, or I don't have one homie or somebody that I can go and talk to and say, yo, I got to get this off my chest because I already got a million things already on my chest.
Right.
And like the more and more that I keep this in, the nastier I can get. And I can have one of them days.
Yeah, sure.
Like I can have one of them days, man.
Yeah.
Like every day, not a good day.
Nah.
You know what I mean? But I always say to myself that I know that I'm a conqueror.
Right.
I know that like I got the heart of David. Like when I say I know I got the heart of David, I got the heart of David.
That's heavy.
Let me explain that to you, that when I say that I got the heart of David, that you know what? When they already told him like, yo, you the next one. You up next.
Yeah.
You gonna own the whole Israel is gonna be you.
Right.
Nah. I'm telling you, as Samuel, yo, you next, you up.
Right.
Or like I always say to myself, are we ever prepared? We always want better, but sometimes when we get better, we don't know how to handle better. Mm-hmm. That was crazy what I just said.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want better, then when we get better, we don't know how to handle better. Like when we get blessed and we get a little further in life than we was 2-3 weeks ago, like, yo, what do I do? What I handle? Yo, many are called, but few are chosen. Now I'm going to get through this. Like I tell my daughters all the time, no matter what with this fatherhood stuff, I'm going to get through this. Right. Yo, me and you got a problem. We beefing. We ain't getting along. We need to get through this. Right. Yo, I got a situation that's going on that with a family member or somebody that I love. Yo, we need to get through this. But I also understand you were made to help, and people, you never know who's looking up to you. Right. People might sit back and be peeping you and be like, yo, I see the way he move. He ain't, I might not be built like him. I might not be as strong as him and just whatever I'm dealing with, but like I watch him. You ever have somebody you look up to, like, you like, yo, go ahead, bro.
I want to stop you because you always had a resilience in you. I remember when we was kids and you wanted to get your jersey game up. You always was into getting fly with the sneaks. What you went and did? Went and got a job. A job in my mind at that time was like, what? I remember you. I don't know where you went and got that job at, but
well, first job that I ever had, we gonna keep it 100. I was at IHOP.
Okay,
I was at IHOP. That was my first job. Then I was at Giant. I was at Giant my whole high school time period.
I remember that.
But like my mom wasn't buying Jordans.
Right.
My mom wasn't. You got one pair of sneakers a year.
Yeah.
Like all that fly stuff and whatever. At the time, I remember when Sean John and all that was jumping.
Yeah.
Rockaware. My mom like, oh no, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
So when I got out there and started working, and I'm like, I remember I got my first, yo, bro, you know what's crazy part about it is? This one, the Guess jean jacket outfit was jumping. Everybody had them.
I remember.
Except me. So I got my first job, and when I got it, I told my mom, I said, Mom, first job, I don't care if I got to save up 2 checks. Yeah. I'm straight to Guess.
Yeah.
Straight to Guess.
I think I feel like I had to be there for that time.
Bro, I remember everybody had it, and I remember being younger where like I ain't have, and I'm pretty sure we all felt like that. Like we ain't had a new sneaks in the, you know what I mean? So like once I got old enough and I was able to get it,
yeah.
Oh, this all I gotta do is go work in it. I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it. But like now I always try to tell people, and I say to people, yo, be yourself.
Yeah.
Yo, what you like is what you like.
Yeah,
what you think is thorough is thorough.
Yeah.
Like, don't let nobody tell you your thorough ain't thorough.
Yeah.
Make whatever you doing thorough.
Right.
Yo, I see the way Cuz be throwing that, throw that on over there. I like how he throw it together. Okay, yeah. But that's his lane.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I be looking at it now. We going out, we sliding out or whatever. I always try, because, it's a lot of people that we grew up with. Yo, they look bad, man.
Yeah.
They look bad. Like, life done hit them. Yeah. And, like, even when it come time to, like, dressing nice, keeping a haircut and stuff like that, I always say that because, like, sometimes life done hit a lot of people, man.
Oh, yeah.
They ain't even 40 yet.
Nah.
So, like, I just was, not to change subject, on the way down here, I rode past the transportation center. Somebody was out there giving out free food. Yo, boy was out there with a whole blanket. All he had was a blanket on. He looked like he was younger than me and you.
Oh, yeah. I think I might know who you're talking about, too.
He had tattoos all over his face.
Okay.
He had a blanket on. I'm riding by, I'm looking, I'm like, yo. So, like, I always tell my daughters, like, even it's funny that, always be humble.
Yeah.
always be humble. Even when you feel like you ain't being humble, whatever, always be respectful. Always, because you never know who you gonna get in front of that might say, yo, hey Phil, yo, thank you back in 3rd, 4th grade, bro. They used to tease me and like, yo, you used to really take up for me, yo.
That's happened to me. A young brother, damn, I can't think of his name. He got a different, but he definitely wrote me one day and said that. I don't even remember the incident. He said me and my sister stood up for him.
Dope.
I'm like, damn. I always, yeah. So you're right about that. But back to what I was saying, you always had a resilience in you. I remember when you wanted to take over the football game and you spoke it into existence. Mm-hmm. You did that. The basketball thing. Did y'all win the championship day? What y'all do?
We went undefeated.
Balling.
At Eisenhower.
Yeah.
We went undefeated. We definitely went under. Me, Rob Hill, Jamar Robinson, Bubba.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bub, too.
Yeah, shout out to Bub.
Yeah, man. I love Bub. I seen him a little bit ago, man.
Yeah.
Bub. Who else? KJ.
Yeah.
It was a couple. Ken Witter. It was a couple. It was,
Yeah.
Yeah, we was all,
but I was with you around that time a lot, and you was speaking them things, and you had a resilience in you that made you go for everything you said you was going to do. You wanted to get your game up, your fly game up. You did that. You wanted to conquer basketball. Did that. People, everybody was reluctant. Like, oh, he played football? We didn't know. But you went out there. I think you started the first year.
Yeah, we was rocking.
Took right over.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
I mean, I remember in 7th grade. I think 7th grade. That's when This when Kent and them was up there. This is middle school, and Kent and Woo was fresh. Me and him 7th grade.
Yeah,
but Woo was getting busy.
Right.
Woo was just different. Yeah. You know what I mean? So and Woo just flourished off of there. But it's like, I miss all them times, man. I miss being a kid, man. I miss being young, man. And I always say, like, I want to be able to. I want to ask you this. What are 3 things about you that you have improved on in the last couple of years that you literally have matured from? And like, it could be anything where like you literally like, yo, I matured in this area where like, yo, I used to hang with just some people where I shouldn't have been hanging with. Or it could be anything where it's like the old Phil would have did this, but like I've matured and these are 3 things that like I literally every day where I've gotten better at.
Damn, can I give you 3?
You can, even if it's 2, you whatever.
One of the things I realized as I'm getting older, one of the things I despise now is something that we indulge in at a point. Drug dealing. I see the detriment it is to the community now. I despise it. I really don't even like listening to rap that I used to love that glorifies it. The ignorant violence. Honestly, I'm just be, vulnerable. I'm not against violence if you defending yourself and you got to handle your business. But just the senseless violence, I've matured from that mindset, from thinking that it was okay. It's not okay. It's not funny. It's a detriment to our community. I think in that aspect, and just wanting to appreciate people and love people. Like I had to go away for a couple years to kind of like appreciate women more. Right. Wow. Because I was taught to, treat them, in the worst way. But when you gone, you notice that the women are the ones that's there for you.
That's a fact.
And just appreciate people. Like that's why, like even in this conversation, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm just trying to give you your flowers because I don't think I ever had that conversation with you to let you know, dog, like you was motivating people without even trying to.
So you saying that it made me laugh, right? Because Keenan Butler. King, shout out to King.
Shout out to King, yeah.
King, this was when I was doing the Do It For Yourself movement, right?
Right.
Yo, he pulled up. Matter of fact, he was hitting me on social media, and he like, him and his wife pulled up on me. He like, asked my wife. He said, yo, GB, like, I told my wife, like, I knew back in the day when we used to be at like football and stuff like that, how you used to talk on the football field and how you used to motivate and stuff like that. Like I knew back in the day you was going to be like this.
Right.
And like, not trying to be rude. Me and Keen was never around each other like that.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was down no more hanging with him and stuff like that. We see him, you know, up at the high, stuff like that or whatever, speak, say what's up. But we never like kicked it or nothing like that. So it makes me always say to myself, you never know who is watching you.
Never.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know who might be like, yo, I might have not liked you back in the day, but like, yo, I always admired this about you.
Oh, yeah.
And like now I always be saying to myself too, like, I don't be trying to be a hater. I feel like people have great qualities in them.
Right.
So like, even though you might have did something, like now, if I see somebody now, I'm going to speak.
Yeah.
If I don't speak, it's because I just really don't like you.
Right.
Or you did something. But if it's like something nutty,
Yeah.
nah, yo, what's up, bro? I might be in a grocery store or something. Yo, how you doing? Yo, what's up? I love to speak to people.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to, I feel like I deserve to give that to people.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to be a good person. Yeah. So the last thing I want to, for tonight on this pod, shout out to the Greg Byrd Podcast.
Absolutely.
I want to be able to ask you this. This is my last question that I want to ask you. What is the future? And we speaking this thing into existence.
Right.
What is in the future for Phil?
Well, before I answer that, I want to still elaborate on the question you asked me. And shout out to my homie Anastasia, because she taught me this is something I matured on and improved on. Looking for good qualities in people. That's something that she taught me. She always give people the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean? And
right.
Shout out to Anna for that. But the future, Lord willing, I want to go back and I started a medical carrier company. I want to take that to, as far as it can go.
Okay.
And years ago, I started a wine company called House of Gesturin. I don't want to do wine anymore. I want to do champagne. But Lord willing, I want to lock in on that and just push those two things as far as they can go. You know what I mean? And just continue to grow, you know what I mean? Right. And I just want to show love. Like, I just want to give love to people, you know what I mean? I spent so much time in my life, loving the negativity. So that I guess that's another place where I matured and it, evolved. I give love, but, the people that I don't bang with, like, it is what it is. Like,
right. That's
you know what I mean? Unless we rectify it, with honesty and accountability, we could do that, but if not, then I'm leaving it where it's at. But for everybody else, I just want to, give love, and that's pretty much it.
That's a fact. I love that for you. For me, I usually try to like ask, whoever we just sitting here, we just rapping, we busting it up. I just always try to think of something positive to leave on in the pod. And my thing that I would love to just open up with is, on closing out, is, like I said in the beginning of the pod, is understand and know the people that love you and care about you. Mm-hmm. Understand that every day that you wake up, it's all about, it starts with you.
Right.
If Kobe never took the time to be in the gym 5-6 days a week, would he be Kobe? So if Kobe could be in the gym 5-6 times a week, and you might be very, very good in a certain area, but you ain't working at it in that area.
Right.
You ain't working at it. You ain't really putting the time in. Like, yo, work on your craft.
Right.
Work on your craft. Whatever you feel like you are good at, work on it. Believe in it. Sow the seed. Water the seed while it's in the ground. Go look, put that thing in honest soil. Yo, you can do anything that you want to do But it is people, it is the devil's job to tell you that you can't.
Right.
But you have to know, I look at every struggle that I go through. People, you know the crazy part about this, Phil? I've had people say to me, what you ever go through? You ain't been locked up. You ain't been in, and I'm like, no, I haven't. But I don't never portray that.
Right.
It ain't like you sitting out here hearing me talk like, oh, I've been like, nah.
Right.
But I can tell you what, in that 1209 R Street house, there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There was a lot of times that I felt like I wasn't accepted by my uncles because I looked too much like my dad.
Wow.
I felt like my grandmom didn't look at me the way that she was supposed to. She didn't love me like she loved a couple other people because I looked just like my dad. So I'm here to tell somebody today, if you don't feel accepted, if you feel like you are the one out of the crowd that don't get the love that you're supposed to get, it's okay. We love you.
Yeah.
We're here for you. We want to see you honestly be great. So my biggest thing on here is, listen, do not turn your back on God. Do not turn your back on God. If God gave you a specific order or a specific lane to fall in line with, and to just stay the path, don't give up on the path or the destination. Because once you get to where you're supposed to get, all that hard work, all them tears, all the crying that you did to get there, all the hard work, it takes me back to when I was doing the Do It For Yourself movement, and I had a little $35 tripod, and I would go up to Norristown High, and I'm talking about, Phil, it'd be below zero. I put the tripod up, put my phone on there. By the time I jump out and do, the tripod will fall over and break. I'm up there sick. I'm freezing, everything else like that. That's why I always try to tell people, don't tell me about where I've been, because you don't know what I've been through to get where I'm trying to be.
Right.
Them videos, oh, he be hype or he be da-da-da-da. Yo, it's to the point where God said, don't worry about man. Just believe in me. Listen, I want to thank Phil for sitting here tonight, for opening up, talking about life, talking about some experiences. And I want to be first to tell you this. You are a great guy, man.
Thank you, bro.
And I love you, man.
Love you too.
I love you. I've been sitting here
Always.
the whole time, and God just telling me,
Yeah.
man, he got something on him. He got something on him.
Yep.
That is awesome. He got a lot of power in him. Man, he got a lot of power in him. He got a lot of love, and he got a big heart. He got a big heart. So I want to thank everybody tonight. Listen, you can listen to this when it come out on YouTube. It's going to be on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. If you can't watch this on YouTube, grab this thing up off your off your phone and listen to it while you at work. Listen to this thing, man.
Yeah.
Tune into the pod. There's no reason for you to not listen to the pod, tune in some type of way. Because we're going to give you this every week. We're going to give you something. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Until the next time. Yo, if you ain't willing to put it on the table, you can't come to the Greg Byrd Podcast. And if you don't do it for nobody else, do it for yourself.
Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube.
Like, share, subscribe.
Share, subscribe. Greg Byrd Podcast.
Face, we still got that joint done in time by 8 o'clock. That's
That
why I
was-
appreciate you.
That was dope, man.
Come on, man.
That was dope.
Cause like down
That was a
here,
good conversation, man.
down here it'd be crazy because like,
Production is in the building.